Ajay Srivastava, all of us thought that there is a color called green in the market in last 10 days, but good to see that markets are bouncing back. Do you think the storm has come and gone, or this is just the beginning of a painful, ugly, terrible, terrible patch?
Well, I think, Nikunj, to be honest, you can keep predicting these things, but the point remains that even if the global scenario stabilizes, and that's when I say stabilizes means I think the world is not going to come to an end, okay? But Federal Reserve gets out of its way and puts one or two increases on the map, and then we all go back to the races. India stocks, I think, still have a problem in terms of valuation compared to the performance that we have seen in this quarter. They've been hurt very badly for demand compression. They've been hurt very badly for commodity. So I think for Indian markets, commodity prices are going to determine the way forward, at least in the next 6 to 9 months. If we have the fact that all the commodities come down, oil comes down, I think we have a good runway out there. But if it's not going to happen and we see commodities firming up as more, then I think we got a problem on our hands. So I think it's more than international. I think international will settle down. I think we need to worry about domestic plays at this point of time and compared to the valuations and see where my stock holding lies in context of the market. Number two is, I think the opening of stocks should do well. People are going to get out and do things. And if COVID goes down the way it is, I think those stocks will have a kind of a re-rating, if not a major upside to that extent. But I think the challenge is, will there be demand come back to the economy because we are past our peak season?
You've been debating before budget that markets will be choppy in Feb. Now that we've seen a sizable correction, and a correction like what we saw yesterday gets the fear of God once again back. When you see stocks fall 40-50%, everybody starts praying hard. Is it time now not to pray but to buy stocks?
So up to a certain extent, we think we are again very close to a trading bottom. So keep in mind that I have talked about that 2022 should be remembered as one of the most volatile year. It's a part of volatile expansion cycle which has been talking about as compared to 2020 and 2020 calendar year 2020 will be extremely volatile. Which means that you have to capitalize on a shorter moves, in the market. And I have always said that global liquidity peaked out in September 2021, and the real impact of declining liquidity you will felt after 6 months, 8 months. Okay, but the good news is that in this market, an employed vol spikes very sharply. Look at what happened in the month of January. The VIX shot up to 36-38% and settled back to whatever 16% or 15-16% range. I'm talking about US VIX. Something similar, the VIX is now trading around 28-29%. I think it can spike to another 5-6%, maybe back to 36-37%, and it will happen very fast. So it's like a next 2 or 3 trading session. I believe that VIX should also settle down, start drifting down, and so is the case for the India VIX. It was also around 23, has potential to go to 26 or so. So maybe we are very close to a trading bottom. From a near-term perspective, in next 2 or 3 trading session, ideally market should bottom out. I have always said that this is the year when the fear is extremely high. You should try to participate, and whenever there's a complacency, you try to tone down your exposure. That's the way you can make money in 2022. It's going to be extremely difficult year.
Is this more like a geopolitical risk which crude prices are pricing in? And what if we see a Russia invasion of Ukraine? What happens in that scenario? I mean, will that mark also as a peak or a top for the crude market? Peter, now we can get into yes, no, but a lot of fakes are saying I don't know about why crude prices have gone higher. Bottom line is, crude prices have gone higher without any demand scenario. Do you think this kind of a risk premium is not going to last, or will it continue?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons why crude's edged higher, and we're saying edged 40% nearly boom to the upside since mid-December. So over that 2-month period, it's a monstrous move, and here we are now just under 96 for Brent. We've got super backwardation, as we're conscious of. We've got supply underinvestment, which leaves the market vulnerable. So you've got to think of those global themes, plus the Omicron issue seems to be very much dissipating. So from a global demand picture, we've got increasing demand, we've got underinvestment, and we've got a shortfall across many different commodities, from base metals and certainly to the energy sector.